Welcome to the island of Sod Off. It's a quaint little place. In fact, it's just like living in Nazi Germany. And this is Richie. He's a pervy little wank engine. He has 6 knackered wheels, a short stumpy funnel, and short stumpy pistons. I said pistons, not penis. One morning, Richie was parked on the sidings with his great mate Eddie the express train. "Oh, Eddie," moaned Richie, "I'm just so depressed. There's absolutely no nudie pump action anywhere on this island. Just blasted lesbians everywhere." "Oh, cheer up, Richie," said Eddie. "You should go over to the scrapyard over by Titty Bottom Valley. There's bound to be an old blind, deaf and mute train over there you can entertain yourself with." "No, I've already tried that," said Richie. "It was just full of hunchback, toothless, moonlighting dinner ladies, like the one you got off with that night at the train driver swapping party, remember?" "Oh, you had to bring that up, didn't you?" said an embarrassed Eddie. "I couldn't start properly for a week after. You know, I had no idea that you could fit railway sleepers in so many orifices." Yes, OK, said Richie. "Enough of all that now, Eddie. Children might be watching." "So, what are you doing today then, Eddie?" Richie asked slyly. "Oh, I don't know," said a thoughtful Eddie. "It's a lovely day, so I might just hang about here for a bit in the hope of another train driver's strike and wait for the picket line riot to start." "Why, what are you going to do, Richie? Hang about in the engine shed till I go out to the refuelling station so you can have a wank?" "Ah, how do you know these things?" said a shocked Richie. "Who tells you these things?" Before Eddie could reply with a depraved witticism, Mr. Rottweiler Hat the Fat Controller arrived. "Here, what the fuck is going on here, you idle bastards?" said the Fat Controller. "Edward, you were supposed to be taking Grand Express out 45 minutes ago, and you, Richard, should have transported them there coal trucks over to Twatcher Central Station Depot yesterday, for fuck's sake." The Fat Controller is very cross with Richie and Eddie. I can't, Mr. Controller," stammered a nervous Richie. "I've got a hernia." "Move your fucking lazy metal asses, or I will give you a hernia," shouted the Fat Controller. "Now look here, you two," said the Fat Controller very assertively. "I'm sick to me chuffing bollocks of you two tossing off over here and making all bastard services late. If I see either of you two slacking off again today, I'll sclap the fucking pair of you." And with that, the Fat Controller stormed off back to his office, where his saucy love-handled bird was waiting, who we all know the railway ganger staff are definitely on with later. "Fucking cunty rats bollocks!" shouted Richie. "Come on, trucks, you bastards! Get moving, you fucking useless vast slugs, before I twat you!" The trucks slowly started moving. It was just then that Richie spotted Eddie steaming past with his express carriages. "Hey, Richie," called a gleeful Eddie. "Look who I've got on board today. It's the Naked Beach Models Blackcurrant Jam Wrestling Tournament team." "Oh," said Richie. "Thank you, Lordy, a Major League Eiffel at last." "Not for you, matey," laughed Eddie. "These are my passengers. Anyone for a quick gander of the Eiffel Tower, girls?" The ladies chuckled excitedly as Eddie chugged away. "Shit," said Richie, sat on the sidings with the dirty old trucks. "I'm going to get my own back on that fucking smug bastard," Richie decided. Eddie was waiting at the station for the signal to take the Nudie Beach Models Blackcurrant Jam wrestling team back to the island port. However, he didn't spot Richie sneaking up behind the coaches quietly in the hope of catching a glimpse of the pervy Juggerama Fest. "Eddie hasn't seen me," thought Richie. "Right. Give him a good old flapping for Richie the Wank Engine, girls." It was at that moment Eddie noticed a foul, putrid stench wafting to the front of the train. I know that unwashed since 1973 odour anywhere, thought Eddie. It's that Richie trying to cop a pervy glimpse at my passengers. Well, I'll show him. He pulled away really fast without waiting for the signal to turn green. But in all of Richie's excitement, he didn't notice he had such a 0.5 millimetre stonker on that he'd accidentally coupled himself to the back of the express carriages. "No, wait, Eddie!" cried Richie. "My knob is stuck to your train! Ah!" "Ha ha, fucking ha!" laughed Eddie. "Let's go for a ride, Richie, and see if we can give that microscopic penis of yours a bit of a stretch." Faster and faster Eddie went. Richie called out for him to stop, but Eddie, being the complete bastard that he is, kept going. All around the island they went, until Eddie's driver finally managed to make him stop. "Oh, you bastard, you bastard!" shouted Richie. "You nearly pulled my knob clean off, Eddie! How could you?" "Well, that will teach you a lesson, Richie, to go and find your own birds to perv over in future," laughed Eddie. "Besides, I think that team captain's a bloke anyway." She did appear to have a fucking huge pair of bollocks. Richie slowly trudged away back to the sidings and stopped at the water tower to get a long drink. Sweaty and tired, he set off back to the engine shed and made sure that he never tried to cop a sneaky perv at Eddie's passengers ever again.